A close approximation of this unlikely event occurred an astonishing number of times during the Gilded Age, that heady time from the end of the Civil War to the turn of the century, the height of the Industrial Revolution in the United States, when great fortunes were made and spent overnight in a way that had never been seen before and will probably never be seen again. The nation's first great industrial fortune was won by the Vanderbilt family, and for a while this family could claim the title of the richest in the world. Subsequent fortunes surpassed it, but by then great wealth was decried. The unique opportunity that confronted the members of this particular family was the freedom to use their fortune just as they damned pleased, to create whatever reality they wanted, to give free rein to their every impulse without any sense of the social responsibilities that great wealth confers. For the Vanderbilts lived in a day when flaunting one's money was not only accepted, but celebrated. What may have started as play acting, as dressing up as dukes and princesses for fancy dress balls in fairy tale palaces, soon developed into a firm conviction that they were indeed the new American nobility. The bits and pieces of history that chronicle the four-generation saga of the Vanderbilt family are scattered everywhere like a broken string of pearls, in wills and court transcripts, letters, memoirs, journals, newspaper clippings, magazines, scrapbooks, photographs, and auction catalogs. But nowhere is that curious combination of magnificence and absurdity that was the Gilded Age more palpable than in the great country homes that still stand today as monuments to their dreams and fantasies. Idlehour, Marble House, The Breakers, Biltmore, Florham. These country estates were not just bigger or more ornate than other millionaires' mansions. They rivaled the most magnificent country houses of England and the chateaux of France that had been passed down to titled descendants generation to generation since the Middle Ages. They were built to become precisely the American equivalent of these old world palaces, great ancestral homes that would proclaim for centuries, for all time, the prominence of the Vanderbilts. But it did not work out that way. Far from becoming ancestral homes, these monuments to limitless wealth built for eternity were hardly used for a lifetime. None was occupied by the next generation. These great estates were but the family's country retreats, built after the Vanderbilts had achieved social prominence. Their main residences on Fifth Avenue in New York City were designed to so startle the world with their size and splendor that they would secure the family's preeminent position of social leadership. Dominating the prime real estate of what was even then one of the greatest cities of the world, the 10 Vanderbilt mansions that lined Fifth Avenue were examples of epic extravagance. Yet these homes, too, failed to become the family seats their builders had envisioned. One by one, the Vanderbilt mansions on Fifth Avenue fell to the wrecker's ball, their contents to the auctioneer's gavel. The first of these Fifth Avenue mansions was completed in 1883. The first was demolished in 1914, and by 1947 every one had been broken to rubble. This fabled golden era, this special world of luxury and privilege that the Vanderbilts created, lasted but a brief moment. Within 30 years after the death of Commodore Vanderbilt in 1877, no member of his family was among the richest people in the United States, having been supplanted by such new titans as Rockefeller, Carnegie, Frick, and Ford. 48 years after his death, one of his direct descendants died penniless. Within 70 years of his death, the last of the great Vanderbilt mansions on Fifth Avenue had made way for modern office buildings. When 120 of the Commodore's descendants gathered at Vanderbilt University in 1973 for the first family reunion, there was not a millionaire among them. What had happened? What had gone wrong with the Vanderbilts' plans to found a family dynasty? There is no easy answer. The ratification in 1913 of the 16th Amendment to the Constitution, which gave Congress the power to tax incomes. Rising property taxes, the imposition of estate taxes, the Depression,